Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is a new edition of Physical Media Friday. I want to be fully transparent. I'm recording this pretty far in advance from when it's going to actually come out. The reason I'm doing that is because I recently came into a bunch of different movies, and rather than later on pack on a whole video where I'm unveiling 30 new physical media discs or whatever that I got, I decided to come on here and talk about the 6 that I got all yesterday. So more full transparency, yesterday was my birthday, and if you are anything like me and you love physical media, you ask people for Blu-rays and 4Ks and Criterions and Kino Lorbers and Arrows and whatever for your birthday. So I got some stuff. So I am here to talk about what I got for my birthday, and you may have noticed this little Criterion bag behind me. There's a special surprise and there's a special story regarding that bag and its contents. So we're going to get to that around the midpoint of this video. But why don't we just get started? My amazing and lovely girlfriend, Harley, who I don't know if she's been featured on this channel yet, but you'll probably meet her at some point. She went to Barnes & Noble and got some movies she knew was on my list to get. I want to start off with a couple ones that I had been wanting for a while, and they are from I don't really hear people calling them a boutique label, but from a boutique label, which is A24. I think that the packaging and decisions that A24 puts into their physical media is pretty special. And in particular, these two are two movies that I really, really wanted from A24. Why don't we just start out? The first one is The Lighthouse. So this is, of course, the Robert Eggers film, and this is the film that really made me fall in love with Robert Eggers and really made me excited for whatever it is he decides to do with his entire career. I was kind of mixed on The Witch when it came out, and then The Lighthouse absolutely tore me to shreds. I loved The Northman. I loved Nosferatu. In my opinion, he has never topped The Lighthouse. This is possibly a top 20 all-time film for me. I still remember the movie-going experience very well. And I just want to crack this open and show you guys what's inside. So we get this case that is longer than your typical 4K, Blu-ray, DVD case even. It is kind of tall. You can maybe tell just from the way I'm holding it. And on the backside, we have only the credits of the movie. And then we're going to open this up. This is pretty spectacular. So we open it, we slide it out. Man, I love the design of this and the other A24 4K that I got. So here we go. And I'm just going to show you both sides. So we open it up and we get a full, isn't that amazing? The Lighthouse. So let's open it up. Inside, we get one 4K disc. I had wished I'd done more research into this or just paid attention, because I was over here thinking that this was going to come with a Blu-ray disc as well, and it does not. If you are out here thinking, oh, I want this, but you don't have a 4K player like myself, that is probably next on my list to get, probably for Christmas or something. This does not come with a Blu-ray, or at least this version of it does not. So it just comes with a 4K disc. Let's take a look at that disc. You've got Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe at the bottom of The Lighthouse. And in here we get a monologue from the film, and then we get some art. Every time I do this, I feel like I'm like reading a story to a classroom full of children. And then in here we get some storyboard excerpts by David Cullen, and we get some storyboards. It is so cool to see the things that go on behind the scenes of making a film, especially a film like this that has such a stark visual style, and to see how it all comes together by the final product. There's a drawing of Robert Pattinson. Okay, then there's some maybe some clothing, and this is also the kind of stuff I feel like you don't see in a whole lot of this. Like talking about the storyboards and talking about the design of the wardrobe, it's just really cool to see all of this stuff. And I really, really love the design of all of these. This says production design drawings, covered breezeway and keeper's house. And obviously, I think we all probably know the amount of planning that goes into making any movie, and that there are, they have like a Bible essentially where all of this information in theory gets compile together so that everyone is on the same page regarding what it is the project that they're making. But the level of detail in something like this, it just seems kind of staggering. As someone who wants to be a filmmaker someday and thinks about the amount of work that goes into the pre-production process, it invigorates me, and I really want to be a part of it. But it also kind of terrifies me. Here we have behind the scenes photography. There's a great photo of Robert Pattinson. We got the Lighthouse. There's our two boys. Yeah, just really wonderful and thoughtful packaging from A24, and I love what they're doing. I cannot wait to own more A24 stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's still on my list. I really want Warfare. I really want The Brutalist. I want Marcel the Shell with shoes on. There's just a ton from A24 that I want. The second one that I got that I asked my girlfriend to get me is right here in front of me, and it is The Green Knight, directed by David Lowery. I saw this with my girlfriend in theaters, and we both came away. I remember we walked out of the theater and we were kind of like not sure what to think of it. We were kind of shaking our heads like, what do we even make of what we just saw there? I mean, it was something. It's a visual feast, but we weren't really sure what we were supposed to get out of it. This packaging as well has this texture design. I want to see if you can kind of see the texture. Kind of is meant to feel kind of like leather. And I'll show you the back, which has got some credits on there, but it's all written in this sort of typeface from medieval times. Yeah, I really like it. I don't know what these numbers on the bottom are supposed to mean. Maybe someone can tell me. Maybe it's just sort of a barcode number. I bet that's probably what it is. It's just a barcode number, but it looks really cool. Let's open this up because I love the inside of this. Here we go, right there. Wow. You get the scene where the Green Knight shows up at the round table. Inside, we get the disc right there. And one thing I didn't realize is that this 4K disc comes with a short film directed by David Lowery called Oakthorn and the Old Rose. I didn't know that was on there. It also comes with some deleted scenes, Quest for Honor RPG spot, and director's commentary with David Lowery. It also comes with some featurettes, some behind-the-scenes documentary, Dressing the Green Knight, featuring costume designer Malgosia. I'm not going to pronounce that last name. So in here is an excerpt from the original text of The Green Knight, which is annotated by David Lowery. So we get a color version of that image from the front cover. When the war and the siege of Troy were all over and the city flattened into smoking rubble, the man who betrayed it was brought to trial. Yeah, I'm so excited to read all of this. I've never read the original story of the Green Knights. God damn, if you haven't seen this movie, it is a visual feast for the eyes. So now we get some costume design sketches. And yeah, there it is. There's Dev Patel's character, Sir Garwin. Man, it is so fascinating to see all the work that goes into this. I mean, I love the fact that film is such a collaborative medium where artisans from all different walks of life, but all different disciplines can come together and create something like this. It's also interesting to see sort of the difference between what goes into making something like this versus something like the Lighthouse, comparing the sort of costume design choices and the artistry that goes into the designing process is really, really fascinating. And then we get to the last page and we see the scene where the Green Knight is met by Sir Garwin, and that's the same image is on the back of this little booklet as well. And I just love how hard this is. You could hear that, right? Really excited to be able to play this. Like I just mentioned, I do not currently own a 4K player. I only own a Blu-ray player and a DVD player. And I had assumed incorrectly that these came with a Blu-ray disc, and they do not. They only come with 4K. So buying a 4K player is next on my list. The third film that my girlfriend got me is a recent one, came out last year, and it was in my top 5 of 2024, certainly. And it was one of the only films that I gave 5 stars on Letterboxd to, and I'm just going to show it to you, and I'm so excited to own it. I love this movie so much, and it is Flow. It is a Criterion 4K Blu-ray combo edition of Flow. It is a film from Latvian filmmaker Gins Zilbalotis, and man, if you have not seen Flow, it's only about 85 minutes long. I encourage everyone to watch this as soon as possible. This is filmmaking of the highest and simplest caliber. I say simplest. What I mean is that there is no dialogue in this film. It is purely visual, auditory, just empathy overload for creatures that are not human. Yeah, it's about a cat who is surviving a great flood, and he has to team up with a capybara and a lemur and a dog and a bird, and they need to basically form this little mini alliance as they survive this flood on a boat. It rightfully won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature at the most recent Oscars. A truly beautiful, beautiful film from top to bottom. I don't want to talk about it too much. I feel like this film came out recently enough where people maybe know what this is. Let's just open it up and I'll show you what's inside. So we take off this slip cover, and man, I love this aspect of it. So we're gonna, I got a loose disc in here. This happened last night too. Oh, it's not the disc. It is the disc. I got a little bit of a loose disc situation with my case, so I got to be careful. But we're gonna open this up, and you can see the boat there with all of the animals on it. We get a little sticker pack right here, and we get all the animals. There's the cat right there, the lemur, the capybara, the dog, and the bird. I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet, but I love getting things like stickers. We also get a little fold-out booklet with, I believe it's one long essay in it. Yeah, there's the essay. It's called "Swept Away" by Nicholas Rappold. And on the other side of this essay, let me see if I can show you. Oh yeah, the gang's all there. Man, I love this movie so much. I've been flying for work a lot this year. Whenever I'm on a plane where we get the screen and we get to watch movies on the plane, I've been putting on Flow. Even if I'm not like actively watching it, maybe I'm taking a nap or something, I'll just put on Flow and just kind of let it play in front of me. I described it to my girlfriend yesterday as the perfect movie to kind of have on in the background, or just like play mindlessly in like a dentist's office. And I mean that in the most complimentary way possible. I don't really know how to make that not sound like it's a kind of a backhanded compliment or a diss, but no, this movie is just absolutely beautiful and touching, and really like it does something to me emotionally. So I'm going to show you these discs, but I do have to be careful because they're kind of sliding out. We get 3 discs in here, and I will explain what is on all of them. So it comes with one 4K UHD disc of Flow and Away, which was Gin Silbalotis's debut feature. It also comes with 2 Blu-rays with Flow, Away, and special features. There's audio commentary, full feature-length animatic, new interviews with Silbalotis and co-writer, co-producer Dreamcat, which is a making-of documentary produced for Latvian television. Some short films by Silbalotis, a ton of features on here, a ton of stuff that I cannot wait to crack into. I do want to get this disc situation figured out because I can't have them falling out and sliding all over the place like they just were, but I'll figure that out when the camera's not rolling. That's what my girlfriend got me for my birthday yesterday. But now for what I consider to be the main event of this video, which is what is in that Criterion bag and how I got it. So let me explain how I got that bag and its contents. So yesterday was my birthday, and there are many ways in which you can celebrate your birthday. You know, you get a bunch of your friends, you have a party, you go out and do whatever. Well, I got notified that there is a podcast that I listen to every single week. I've been listening to them for 2 or 3 years now, called The Big Picture. And most likely, many of you watching this probably know of this show and listen to it yourselves. And they announced that they were going to be doing a live show in New York City on my birthday. And I thought to myself, hey, that would be a pretty cool birthday present, pretty cool thing to do on my birthday. So I got a ticket, and of course, no one in my life listens to the Big Picture podcast. I have a lot of friends who like movies, but you know, we all like movies in different ways. A lot of the people I know have never even heard of the Big Picture. They don't listen to anything else on the Ringer network. They don't listen to The Watch or the Rewatchables, none of that stuff. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go to this live event by myself and enjoy my time. So it was a live taping of their podcast. They ended up doing a movie draft, but before they always do that at their live tapings, they like to do trivia for the audience. And I think you can tell where I'm going with this. They asked a trivia question, and I raised my hand, and I got the question right. And I was handed that Criterion tote bag right there with 3 movies inside. and we're going to talk about them in a second. One of them is a film that I have seen and I already own. It is already on that shelf over there. So I'm going to be figuring out what to do with that because I don't really need 2 copies of it. One of them is a film that I have seen, but I do not own. Now I do. And the third one is a film that I have not seen and I do not own, and I'm very excited to watch it. So I'm going to grab the bag and we're going to see what's inside it. All right, up first, let's just whip out the one that I already have, which if you watch my first Physical Media Friday video, you will recognize it is Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. Now, I haven't taken it out of its packaging because I don't plan to take it out of its packaging because I'm probably going to be giving it away to someone that I know, either for Christmas or just in general, birthday or something. I'm going to find the right home for Do the Right Thing, someone who doesn't have it. So we're not going to run through this. If you want to see what's inside here, go check out my first Physical Media Friday video that I did where I talk about my other copy of it. So let's go right on ahead and talk about the next one, which is a film that I have seen, but not a film that I own, not one that I was expecting. The sort of theme in all of this was that it was New York movies. So let's see if you can guess what it is. It is Wes Anderson's The Royal Tenenbaums. As much as I love Wes Anderson, The Royal Tenenbaums is not my favorite of his. It probably is not even in the top 5, if I'm being honest. I would consider myself a late period Wes Anderson fan, but some of his early work I can admire and appreciate and understand why other people love them so much. This one, I wish I loved it more. I'll just say that, but I am happy to have the Blu-ray Criterion version of it. So I ended up winning this like a couple weeks after the Criterion Wes Anderson Archives box set came out. So I'm wondering if they were just trying to get rid of some Blu-ray Wes Anderson inventory or something like that, because they now have a bunch of 4K Wes Anderson restorations in the form of that archive. But anyway, we could see the front cover here. It's been a while since I've seen this movie, so the characters aren't really that fresh in my head. But we have on the back a list of all of the special features and what the movie is about. I don't want to make it seem like people shouldn't check this movie out if they haven't seen it or if they're kind of allergic to the Wes Anderson thing. This is definitely worth your time, and it is a really good movie. It's just I'm more of a fan of Grand Budapest or French Dispatch or Asteroid City, Phoenician Scheme, all of that stuff. It's just more my speed as opposed to this. But let's see what's inside. So we'll crack it open, and inside we get the disc and we get some literature. So we pulled this out. Let's start with this. And there's a note on the back from Wes Anderson. Wes Anderson is a lover of the Criterion collection, and so he seems like he always kind of has like a little note to the reader on the back of there. And this is sort of interesting. I saw this last night. You open it up and there's like maps to all the rooms inside the house of 111 Archer Avenue, which is the house that Royal Tenenbaum lives in the movie. And there's just a bunch of little fun drawings. Now, I don't see any indication that these were drawn by Anderson himself. Hard to know, but it's definitely got that quirky Wes Anderson style. There's some more on the back there. That's really cool. I feel like I could spend hours kind of perusing and looking over all of those drawings and picking up on new details. Actually, fun fact, my first apartment that I ever had in New York City was not that far from the apartment that they used for the Royal Tenenbaums. I used to walk down the street that apartment was on, but I never knew that that's what it was because I'd never seen the Royal Tenenbaums until a couple of years ago. Here is a bunch of essays. We have Faded Glories by Kent Jones. There's a bunch of other little essays, and all the little drawings in here just feel so Wes Anderson. I've mentioned this in the past, but I don't really love the like fold out essay style. I kind of prefer the booklet style. We also get some credits, cast of characters, chapters about the transfer, acknowledgments. But yeah, this is the Royal Tenenbaums. I can't be mad that I got this. I did hear that some other people in their Criterion bags that also won trivia got Greg Mottola's The Day Trippers, which, if I'm being honest, I would have preferred to this, which might be blasphemous to say. But yeah, I love The Day Trippers, and I'm on the fence about the Royal Tenenbaums. Okay, and the final thing that I got in this Criterion tote bag is a Blu-ray Criterion copy of Midnight Cowboy. Now, this is a film I have not seen, but this movie has quite a reputation. This is one of those things that even if you haven't seen it, certain parts of it have seeped their way into your brain. You've seen scenes from this movie, even if you don't know you have. I was talking to my girlfriend last night and said there's probably a quote from this movie that you've used in your life, even though you've never heard of or seen this movie. It's probably when Dustin Hoffman is crossing the road and almost gets hit by a taxi and says, "I'm walking here. I'm walking here." I mean, that's just become like a ubiquitous part of New York culture. The "I'm walking here" is everywhere. This film was directed by John Schlesinger, a director who I have no relationship with at all and whose work I'm excited to dive into after I watch this. I haven't even watched it yet. I just got it last night. I know nothing about what it's about, but I'm going to kind of keep it that way. I kind of want to go in blind because I really don't know anything about this. But I really do love this cover. I love how colorful it is. And we get our two main characters, Jon Voight and Dustin Hoffman. But I also know that the reputation for this film is high because it was the first ever X-rated film to win the Oscar for Best Picture. So, I mean, yeah, let's just crack it open and see what's inside. We get a pretty kind of standard Criterion Blu-ray disc in there. And then we take out this little booklet. Again, the design is very uniform. It all feels like it fits. And we could unfold this and we can see, there we go. We get a bigger image there. And then inside we get a fold-out essay called On the Fringe by Mark Harris. We get to see a little bit of Jon Voight. And on the backside, we get some images from behind-the-scene image from the making of the movie. I don't know who that guy is there. That might be John Schlesinger. Who knows? But yeah, all in all, just reflections on all of this. It was a birthday that was unusual because it felt a little bit more low-key. I was going to a live event by myself to see a taping of a podcast that I listen to all the time. And I ended up coming away with some little goodies in a bag for getting a trivia question right. If anyone's curious, the trivia question that I got right was about a recent Academy Award winner whose first two films are in the Criterion Collection. I had to name the filmmaker and I had to name the first two films. I almost it up, but I did get it right. I knew immediately. I knew it was Sean Baker and that his first two films were Takeout and The Prince of Broadway, and those are in the Criterion Collection. But stupidly, I misheard the question and I said Prince of Broadway and Anora because I wasn't thinking about what the question was. So then very quickly I said, no, I meant Takeout. It was a nice little birthday present for me. And if you don't listen to The Big Picture with Sean Fennessy and Amanda Dobbins, I really think you should do yourself a service and listen to it week after week. They have incredible insight. They're talking about new movies that are coming out. They do retrospectives on old movies. It's a really wonderful show. And that's going to do it for this edition of Physical Media Friday. I really wanted to get through all of this early so that I didn't have to do it later because I'm recording this in the beginning of October and I do plan on getting a bunch of more stuff. I know that I have some other birthday money coming through and I have some Barnes & Noble gift cards coming through. So I'm probably going to be doing a lot more shopping pretty soon. So rather than pile a video on with a ton of stuff, I figured I would do a little intermediate version here. Let me know down in the comments if you own any of these or if any of these are of interest to you. Let me know what you think of A24's packaging and consideration as a boutique label in their own rights. And let me know if I like any of these things, what you think I should pick up during the next sale. Let me know if there's anything from like Arrow Video or Kino Lorber or any of those other sort of labels out there that I might not know about. Imprint, I don't have any Imprint stuff. There's something from Imprint that I'm on a wait list for, and I really want them to bring back. If any of you have a pull out there in the Imprint world, please tell them that I need Bob Fosse's Lenny. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified when new videos come out on the channel. Go follow me on Letterboxd so you can see what I'm watching when I watch it. And that's going to do it for me. I'll see you all next time.